What's up, everyone? Welcome to week 9 in the NFL. Fantasy focused here. Ryan Levy with my boy Buckey, ready to break down some monkey knife fight picks. We're going to start off with the Seattle Seahawks at the Buffalo Bills. How you doing, Buckey?
Oh, I'm doing very good. Very good. I'm excited. This is a huge slate of games here for week 9. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a little bit surprised, in full transparency, to see that Seattle is only a 3-point favorite here. I know you're a resident Bills fan and expert here. So what do you think about the spread and the point total?
I mean, Bill's offense hasn't exactly been clicking on all cylinders for a few weeks now. So I'm not surprised considering the damage that Seattle can do to an opposing defense, and the Bills defense, you know, they got a gift at the end of last game. Thank you, Cam Newton. But beyond that, I mean, it's been a work in progress, and it certainly hasn't been a beautiful piece of art that some wanted it to be. So I think 3 points is probably pretty fair. Games in Buffalo, so
fair.
Traveling across, so really they have this pegged as a 6-point favorite for Seattle. I know that the Vegas just still, for whatever reason, has kind of had that 3-point home favorite always kind of built in.
Yeah, for sure. Unless it's like an absolute,
garbage fest.
Yeah, exactly. But they've got the over-under set at 55, so pretty high total, obviously. I look at this as a bounce back game in terms of fantasy for Josh Allen. We need him to bounce back.
You think if there's a secondary he can do it against, it is this one there in Seattle.
Right. All right, so we're going to start off with a little rapid fire. If you guys have never played on Monkey Knife Fight before, it is a great alternative in the DFS world in comparison to DraftKings and FanDuel. Instead of playing against the fantasy sharks out there, you're playing against the house. In this instance, you just got to get 3 out of 3 correct here, and you're getting 6x your buy-in. So throw a 5 spot on it, get yourself 30. I've been working on my math, Bucky. But make sure you guys use our code FOCUSED when you make your first deposit of $50 or more, and you'll get yourself a free $50. Can't miss with that. But we're going to start out here. Again, rapid fires, 3 sets of players pitted against each other. Just got to get 3 out of 3. So we're going to start with passing yards. We've got Russ Wilson versus Josh Allen. And Russ Wilson is minus 12.5 passing yards. What do you think here, Buck?
It's Russell Wilson. I cannot by any means bet against anyone other than Russell, or bet against Russell Wilson whatsoever. I can't do it. I feel like the Bills are very vulnerable, especially with the deep ball and with the options that they have there in Seattle. Quite frankly, you know, between Lockett, Metcalf, it's pick your poison. Trey Wake can't cover everybody. So I do feel that Russ Wilson has a big day throwing the ball. Bills are going to continue to try to establish the run, and they started to get it going a little bit against New England. The problem is everybody runs against New England.
True.
So will it turn into a back and forth, tossing the ball all around the yard fest? Quite possibly. If that's the case, or if the Bills are trying to get that running game established, I still think Russell Wilson here clears 13.5.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way. I mean, I feel like this number should be much higher. It should be closer to 30 or 40 yards, in my opinion, especially the way Josh Allen's been playing. I mean, again, I expect a bounce back performance from Josh Allen because the matchup is favorable, but I'm still going to lean Russ Wilson here just based on the way the New England or the Buffalo defense has been playing. Having
watched all these Bills games, I think Allen's hurt. He's been playing hurt since that one big hit he took and had to go back to the locker room. He just hasn't been the same. And I think that's affecting him. He's not so much playing. He might be thinking a little bit more. We need that player back where he's just out there like, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to toss this thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Something is not right there. But moving on to the receptions category, we've got Stephon Diggs pitted up against the beast himself, DK Metcalf. Last week, DK Metcalf targeted a whopping 15 times, hauled in 12 for 161 and 2 scores. Part of me just feels like, you know, maybe he was a little jealous that his boy favored Tyler Lockett so much the week before, you know, and Danger needed to throw him some love. So I don't know that I expect another monster game like that out of DK Metcalf. That was only the second time all year.
I kind of do.
Really?
Not that big, but I mean, he's been so consistent at that 100-yard mark. The thing is the receptions. I don't think 15 targets are going to be there. I
Right.
have Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, trust me, I love DK Metcalf, and I wish that he would be targeted this much every single week because look what he can do with that type of opportunity. But you know, he hasn't been targeted double-digit time. That was only the second time all season he's been targeted double-digit times. So I'm tempering expectations. I still think he has 100 yards and a score in this game, but I think Stephon Diggs in the reception department has been a little bit more consistent. You know, he's good for 6 catches every week.
Yeah, and that's really where I stand with it. 0.5 for the advantage for Diggs, so he's starting out the gates with that advantage. I'm going to go Diggs. I think he has a really solid day. Maybe this will be that breakout game for Diggs.
All right, I'm with you on that. And then moving on to receiving yards, this is where it gets interesting. Your boy Cole Beasley shat the bed last week, but so did Tyler Lockett. Cole Beasley is getting a 20.5-yard advantage. Is that enough to move the needle for you, Buck?
I'm not sure that it is. Tyler Lockett is one of those deep threat players that can actually absolutely extend the field. That's not going to be Cole Beasley. I'm going Tyler Lockett here.
Yeah, I'm with you. We are going the top row special. I'm just not going to mess around with that. With John Brown back, I just don't feel comfortable putting my eggs in the Cole Beasley basket. And I think it's going to be a more even fantasy production or in general for the receivers for Seattle there. So I think Lockett bounces back with a decent game here. All right, so now we are going to move on to the Levy bag of donuts. Is that what we're calling it these days?
Yeah, Levy bag of donuts.
Let's go. So this is 6 out of 6 here for 35x.
Boom.
Your buy-in. Love to see this. All right, so I want to start out with DK Metcalf. I'm going to go over 73.5 immediately.
Yep.
What else sticks out to you here? We just talked about Diggs catching 6 balls pretty much every week, over 5.5.
Yeah, I'm going to go over. More.
All right, what else is sticking out to you here, Bucky?
I like Russell Wilson more.
Like Josh Allen is an interesting one, man.
I like Allen more.
I mean, I think he can do it if they're going to stay in this game and 50 something points is definitely going to be scored. He's got to throw for more than 288 because I don't think they're going to be able to do that much damage on the ground.
I agree.
Let's
go more.
All right, let's do it.
The spread's 50 or the over under is 55. Let's hope that this is realized. Tyler Lockett, I'll go more and I'll go less for Cole Beasley.
That is my exact thought there. I actually feel really good about this. I know we tend not to play too many of these mores in any given 6 out of 6 matchup, but Bucky and I like to lean on the Vegas lines a lot when we're picking our fantasy matchups and player props and all that good stuff. So naturally here, there should be some fireworks. Neither defense is great. It's a weird year in 2020. So let's fire it in there, Buck. I'm feeling good about this. I'm going to throw $5 on it.
I feel pretty. Oof.
5 to win 175 is just so juicy, man.
My guy Levy's throwing around funny money.
Let's go. So that will do it for this edition of our Monkey Knife Fight picks here on Fantasy Focus. If it's your first time coming across our channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button for us, and join us live on Sunday mornings every week during the NFL season from 10 o'clock Eastern until about 12:30, 12:45 Eastern. Get those lineup questions answered. Get in early because we get a lot of questions. We love answering them for you. All four of us will be on there. And make sure, again, if you've never played a Monkey Knife Fight and you want to mess around with these player props, you can do fantasy points as well. Make sure you use code FOCUSED when you make your deposit or follow the link in the description and get yourself a 100% deposit bonus. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys soon.
See ya.